Hey, hey, who's all excited to be here? Woo! I know I am. Cheers. All right. Uh, I think you all might be thinking right now that I'm kind of a big deal because I'm the keynote, right? But I'm actually not the keynote. I'm just warming you guys up. I'm the opening act. So there's a lineup of great speakers that I think you guys will all be really excited about. So sometimes I do think I'm a big deal. Like last year, I was at a conference, a B2B conference, and I got invited to a billionaire's lunch. And it's not because I'm a billionaire, it's because I work at a multi-billion-dollar company. And so I sat up close to the stage, and all the people at my table were way more impressive than I was. And I kind of had a little bit of an imposter syndrome because I actually come from really humble beginnings. I don't consider myself to be a really big deal, right? I was born and raised in Brazil. In the early 70s, my parents moved from Waterloo, Iowa to Belo Horizonte, Brazil. Yeah, there's a lot of Iowa going on here, right? I don't know what's going on there. So I was born and raised in Brazil in the 70s. And in the early 80s, my parents purchased their first family PC. It was a Apple IIe. And when we purchased that Apple IIe, and my dad set it up in his office, it was this amazing moment where we turn on the screen, and it's this green screen, and there's this blinking cursor. And you're like, this is a big deal. This was a $2,500 investment back in the 80s, right? This is a big deal. But what were we going to do with it? It was just this blinking cursor. You had to write your own software. If you wanted to use the computer, you had to do something with it. So you had to buy computer books, and you had to write computer programs. And the very first program that you wrote, does anybody know what the very first program you ever write as a software engineer? Hello World. Yes, thank you. So, you type in 10, print, hello world. The next line you say 20, go to 10. And what happens is your screen fills up with the words hello world. And that's so exciting. You're like, I wrote some software. It was a blinking cursor, and then I did something and it talked back to me. And then all of a sudden your mind just goes, I can do anything. I can buy any book and I can write any software. So in Belo Horizonte, Brazil, in the early 80s, I realized that I could change the world by writing software. I didn't change the world by writing software. I've been in the software industry for 25 years. I've written a whole lot of code, and I've had a lot of fun doing it. But about 2.5 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, we all had our first hello world moment with AI, in which it looked a little bit more like, hello, David, how can I help you? And there was a blinking cursor. And we had that moment of, what am I going to do? How am I going to change the world? And what I realized is we really don't know yet, 3 years out, what it is what we're going to do with this. A lot of us think we know what we're going to do with this, but the reality is 95% of software companies are reporting that they are either failing AI integrations or they're stalled out on AI integrations. They don't know exactly how to implement that. And when I went to my software engineering team, so at Gordon Food Service, by the way, I'll give a little introduction about Gordon Food Service. At Gordon Food Service, we are a 128-year-old company. We are doing about $23 billion a year in sales. We are the largest the largest privately held food service company in North America. We are the 15th largest privately held company in the US. We have 22,000 employees. I'm trying to remember some of the other facts here. I have some cheat notes. We have 25 distribution centers, almost 200 stores. So we're B2B and B2C. So it adds some complexity there. And our number one cornerstone value is customer is king. And the e-commerce team that I manage, we do about $1 billion a month in e-commerce sales. And that's a big deal. That feels like a big deal. It's a pretty big deal. Um, but I've been on that team for 3 years, and I can claim that I had something to do with it, but it was happening way longer before I got there. Yeah, so when I went to my e-commerce, I manage 3 teams right now. It's the e-commerce, the mobile app, and our marketing technologies teams. And so a couple of years ago, when I went to my teams and I said, hey, we have this AI mandate. We have to implement AI in our processes, in our software, and like go make things with AI. And the response I got from most of my team was blank stares. A lot like what I have right here is just these blank stares. Like, what do you mean use AI, right? Like, the vast majority of people are hearing me say, go write cat poems or do something funny with a meme. Go play with AI. And it's like, we're in a serious business here. We're a $23 billion company. You want us to go play with AI? We're writing real software. We don't have time to go play with AI. And then I have one engineer on my team who decided to download an open source model and start to train it on our knowledge base. And so it went from one extreme of, you want us to play with AI, to, hey, let's train our own AI models. But we also do have a data science team, and they are actually doing some really advanced model training at Gordon Food Service, and it's really impressive. That's typically not happening in the e-commerce space. So what I came up with for my teams is a framework. And when I was preparing this talk, what I heard from a podcast about how to give public speeches or something along those lines, I go into ChatGPT and I say, how do I give a public speech? It's like the number one thing you can do to not be nervous in front of this big crowd of people staring back at you is to see that the words that you are giving to this audience are a gift from you to them. And so my gift to you today is a framework to help you create a personal AI integration plan for you personally, for your teams, or for a company. And this framework has 7 levels of AI integration. And this has helped me when I go to my teams to say, hey, you need to be integrating AI into your day-to-day work. What do I mean? So that we aren't part of the statistics that 95% of the companies are failing at integrating AI, I want to make sure that we're in the top 5% of companies who are successful at integrating AI. And that starts at the individual level. So the 7-level AI integration plan that I'm gifting to you today doesn't need to happen progressively. You don't have to start at level 1 and move all the way up to level 7. What I'm asking for you right now is to identify what level you are at personally, identify what level that you want to be at next, and then possibly today start making a plan to move from whatever level you're at right now to that next level. And I think that we will all be part of that 5% who is doing it the right way. So level 1 is play and creativity. It's getting into ChatGPT and asking it to make that meme of your boss falling off a cliff, or to write a poem about for a birthday card, or to do something fun, to do something playful. And the creativity is the gateway drug into the next levels that we're going to be talking about. And so, yeah, go in and play. Use ChatGPT, use Claude, use Vertex or Gemini. Go in there and start playing around with it and be funny and send things to your kids like I do. And every time I talk about AI, my kids roll their eyes. I only have 6 kids, by the way. But they all roll their eyes at me like, oh, here we go again. Family chat, I say something about AI, and they're like, oh, come on, Dad, cut it out. But yeah, 67% of professionals right now have accounts in some sort of AI tool, and they're playing around with it. And I think that that's great, that we're at that 67% level right now. The next level is administrative and agentic. Right now, I think that in this space, level 2, we are going to start automating a lot of the things that we do every day. I hate email, and I want agentic AI to completely eliminate email from my day-to-day. If that could go away and it could tell me which things were important and it could auto respond with a draft email on my behalf that I could go in and I could make a decision, I would be so excited about that. And 80% of customer support companies right now are using AI at the administrative level. Like, make the busy work go away. Let's not do this stuff anymore. It's annoying. Why are we doing it? It's not satisfying. It's not the thing that I go to work to do. I'm not excited about doing this busy work. So let's use AI to automate that. 64% of companies right now, e-commerce companies, are reporting that their first sale is coming from an AI-powered search. Their first time a customer is finding their company is through an AI-powered search. So level 2, this agentic stuff, this is great, but it's still just level 2. We're saving minutes a day. We're not saving hours a week. We're just getting started at level 2. Level 3 is work and human augmentation. So as a software engineering, my background is software engineering, what I find is that my teams who are using AI are about 20 to 50% more efficient at writing software, testing software, deploying software using AI. Now that's hours a week. That is a huge boost. That's level 3. So if you're at level 3 and you're empowering your teams to use AI to automate their workflows, if you're using the N8N to write some custom automatizations, that's a really cool thing. Great job. Keep doing that. Level 4. And this is where I'm trying to play with right now is level 4. This is where I'm trying to get myself into the game personally, not at a corporate level, but at a personal level. This is where you're integrating AI into the software that you are writing. So you're not writing software with AI, you are embedding software, AI into your software so that your users are having an intelligent experience using your software. That is cool, that's a game changer. I would highly recommend all of you to vibe code your way into a software solution that you're writing and creating to solve a problem, whether it's creating funny memes for your kids or helping the kids at your school pickup line to know when the parent is coming up so they can pack their backpack and go to the car. Like whatever it is that you can think of that you could automate using AI to help solve a real problem, you can do that right now by logging into Cursor or Windsurf or one of Replit or one of dozens of other tools that we can vibe code with. The onboarding process, the learning curve is a single prompt. You write a single prompt and you see it write software and you're in level 4. It's amazing. Play around with it. I am highly encouraging you to get to level 4. Level 5, SaaS, or AI as a service, is the level where you become entrepreneurial. This is where you start to resell your solution to other companies as a service. They start paying you monthly to use this solution that you built. This is a game changer. Anybody can build any software without knowing how to code using one of those tools that I talked about a minute ago, and then they can deploy it to a web server without knowing how to deploy code to a web server, and they can buy a domain and they can start selling their service right now to other people and start making money. And your company can be doing that. Level 6. This is way above anything that I'm able to do. This is where you start to make hardware autonomous. You start to allow robots to do work for you. You start to allow cars to drive you places. You start to allow your order picking systems to go and grab product and put them onto a conveyor and put them into a truck and being AI driven instead of algorithm driven. That is a huge game changer. Putting AI into hardware and allowing that hardware to make decisions on its own, whether it be through a taxi cab that picks you up and drops you off at the airport, or a robot that picks product off a shelf and puts it into a truck to be delivered to your customer. That is a game changer. Level 6, I would love to get there, but right now I'm working on levels 4 and 5. That's me personally. I want to get to 4 and 5. Level 7, this is Google, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Meta. These are the companies that are innovating and building the AI solutions that we are all consumers of. I would love to work for one of those companies. I'm probably not going to work for one of those companies. I went to college in Iowa. I don't have the right credentials. So my encouragement to you is to take your profits from your SaaS and invest those into the stock market for those big companies. So you're part of those companies and you're making profits from those companies. So that's what I'm trying to do myself. I'm trying to ride on somebody else's profits. So what my warning, parting warning to you guys is, if you are at levels 1 through 3, you will probably be replaced by somebody who's using AI. And your career is probably a couple of years from being over. So let's not be levels 1 through 3. Let's strive to get ourselves personally, our teams and our companies to be building AI solutions into our software. And at an e-commerce conference, what that looks like is, if I'm shopping for something online right now, I am not going to be going to a website like Amazon to do shopping. I am going to start my shopping experience on Perplexity or on some other AI platform like ChatGPT or Claude. And within that environment, I should see options across the whole entire industry. I should see something from Etsy, from Amazon, from Target, all in a carousel. And I should be able to click on those and say, tell me more about these. Tell me the pros and cons between these between these products. And I should be able to click on that product, and I should be able to click buy now and know that it's going to be delivered to my home address using my preferred credit card within that chat environment. And that's powered by tools like MCP and A2A. If you don't know what those are yet, Google them, figure it out. Make sure that your software companies that you are working with and partnering with are integrating those technologies. So that if you're using Shopware a year from now to sell your product, you're not worried about people coming to your Shopware site. You're worried about them being able to buy your products within a chat environment. That is a game changer. That is levels 4 and up. If you're levels 1 and 3, have fun, play, but level up very quickly. So thank you very much. Obrigado.